Okay, so we're at Rosny today, and I'm going to teach you guys to bar spin. So this is fly out bar spin, not hot bar. Hot bar would be a completely different tutorial. But if you want to do fly out bars out of a quarter or kind of a steep bank or something like that, this could be the video for you. It's definitely where you want to start. Like, you can try and start by learning hot bars, but doing them out of a fly out, much easier. So we're going to teach you guys to do that today. I've got a few bars now, just out of that bank for you. Show you what we're working with, and yeah, then I'll try and break it down for you, and hopefully by the end of this video you guys can all bar spin. Fingers crossed anyway. Alright, so the biggest thing you're going to first want to know is what way to throw the bars, and that's going to depend on what foot forward you sit. So I'm left foot forward, so what you do is if you're left foot forward, to throw regular bar, you're meant to throw it with your left hand into your front foot, like that. So you throw it anti-clockwise. Throw with your left hand, catch with your right. If you're right foot forward, do the opposite, so you throw it clockwise into your front foot. So throw with your right hand, catch with your left. Again, it doesn't really matter but I'd suggest if you're learning bar spins and you haven't got really a preferred way, learn them that way. It's just going to make like things like 180 bars and truck drivers a little bit easier when you get up to them. But if you feel comfortable throwing switch bars, just do it. Doesn't really matter. So what I'd recommend is you want to get comfortable with what your hand's doing, because you definitely want to be able to catch it or know where to put your hands so that you catch it before going out of a fly out and having no idea what you're doing. Pretty much, again, I'm left foot forward, so I throw with my left hand, catch with my right. What you do is, and I bust my bars as well, usually. And that means that my hand never really leaves the handlebars at all. My throwing hand kind of just follows the bars around and then hops back on, does like a flip at the last minute. So kind of when your wrist feels like it's about to break, let go, and then jump back on. Just like that. So you can kind of practice doing that. So if you think about it, really your hand's never actually coming off the bars. That might be something that helps give you a little bit more confidence. But, or you can obviously go and just throwing it. Depends what you want to do. So again, with your hands, what you're going to do is, not like this doesn't matter if you're busting or chucking, you need to kind of get the hand motion right. So, as your hand comes down like that, this hand that you're going to catch with needs to come down. A lot of people kind of go with the bars there, then come back like that. You can do it. It's called throwing X up. We kind of do that and then hop back on. You kind of do that, but if you can learn it the other way, it's kind of a little bit smoother and hopefully a little bit easier, a little bit cleaner as well. So what you're going to do is with your catching hand, release, you're throwing, it's coming around. This hand has to go down there because that's where the bars are going to kind of come into it. So you're going around like that and it should come back into your hand. As soon as it hits your hand, you're safe. That's it. You got a hand back on. You won't fall. So pretty much you kind of want to do that. That's throwing it. If you're busting it, hand sticks on it like that, pretty much. But the biggest thing is like kind of that motion to start with, like that. And follow it around. As soon as it hits your hand, kind of hop back on. I kind of wait with busting, kind of my hand does the flip. That hand does the flip as soon as that hand gets back on. So it's kind of like that. If you can kind of see that, I'll try and do it slowly. Another thing, this might help you, I don't know why I do it, but I throw my bars kind of with my thumbs instead of kind of being around the grips like that. I kind of bring my hands in a little bit and then sit my thumbs on kind of the back of the handlebars and then just go like that. So what you want to do, make sure that you can do that, not even think about it. I know a lot of people are going to say it doesn't actually feel like a bar spin. You're right, but you've got to know how to catch it, and that's the whole motion. What we're going to do now is we'll talk about kind of what your legs need to do, because it's quite an important part of it as well. You know, there's kind of two parts to it. There's the hop and then the prep for the bar, and then there's that part that we just looked at then, which is the actual bar. So we'll look at kind of how to get into the position, getting ready to throw it. One of the biggest things that people kind of get worried about is that they're going to hit their knees with their bars. That can happen, I went knee pads just because I don't like it when that happens. It does suck, copying a handlebar, the knees. And you know, if you wear pads or anything like that, put them on. If it gives you confidence to do it, it's probably a good thing. But what you're going to do is kind of, you hang around here, you kind of go up the ramp, and then you need to prep your body to pass or throw the bar. What you're going to do is you're going to go up the ramp, push out kind of with your hands, and then your knees are going to come over under the back of the seat. And I tend to push my knees together because I don't have a high seat or anything like that. It's kind of a low cut frame. I just push my knees together. A lot of people, if you've got a higher seat, you can kind of clamp the top of the seat with kind of the under part of your knees. So you kind of like, try and do this now on flat. I'll show you a couple of videos out of the fly out as well, how it's going to look. But it's pretty much you go up and you kind of throw your legs back and then push your knees together. I'll do it one more time. It's kind of hard on flat. But like that. So I'll try to have a fly out now and then do everything apart from throw the bar, so you can kind of see the arms going out, the knees coming back, and then creating that space to do the bar spin. So once you've done that and you're kind of comfortable, it's called, people call it the statue because you're kind of like pushing it out there and not actually doing anything. It's a telltale sign that you were going to go for a bar spin, but you didn't throw it. Once you can kind of do that, that's really the position that you need to getting ready to throw the bar. Bank, kind of you got to create a little bit more pop for yourself. Quarter, you kind of just fly out and then like throw it at a little bit later, because you don't want to throw it going right off the lip, because that's going to be kind of a little bit of a pain in the ass. But when you do it out of a quarter, you wait a little bit more, but out of this bank, you kind of have to do a bit more hop. Quarters are kind of easier, I guess, to learn them out of on. But this bank's really nice at Rosny. Pretty much a quarter anyway. But what the biggest thing now is, well, there's a couple of things I think. I should probably mention this. There's kind of, with doing the statue, you kind of want to do it so your nose is a little bit up when you fly out. It's easier to throw the bar with your nose up a little bit, and then what's going to happen is if you don't get a hand on or anything like that, or you get one hand on and you blow your feet out, what you can then do is you're not landing nose heavy, and your chances of going over bars or anything like that happening are kind of minimised. What you also want to do is kind of, yeah, just go out, don't throw the bar straight away, kind of let yourself get into that statue position, nose up a little bit, and then kind of go for it. This next point is kind of where I had the most trouble, and it was building up the guts, courage to actually throw it. And I looked at trying to do whatever I could to just make myself throw it. And Jesse Murray, local rider at EC, kind of around Hobart area, came up and told me this thing where like you fly out, take 1 foot off, and then you just pass the bar around. And that kind of gives you the confidence that like you can fly it, you can do all that, and then it's just a case of putting your foot back on. So what I'll do now is I'll show you that method. That might be one way that can hopefully help you guys to throw the bar spin. We'll do that. So the other biggest thing I would say about doing that kind of fly out one-footed technique is, as I did in that last clip there, you can kind of see that you don't catch it or anything like that. As long as you've got 1 foot still on the pedals, the bike will never bounce, it will never come at you, you know, hit you in the face or anything like that, because you've always got 1 foot on it to kind of control it and push it out. You can kind of see like, it's not going to bounce when you've got a foot on, as opposed to that, where it gets a lot higher and kind of a lot more dangerous. So whatever you do when you're throwing them, if you do that 1 foot technique, always keep 1 foot on the pedal. Even if you don't catch, you can push it into the ground and then kick it away from you, and it shouldn't come back. Because I know a few people have like thrown bars, missed, and then kind of let go fully and it's bounced, kind of hit them in the face, which turns you completely off the trick and is not fun at all. One thing I would also mention about kind of flying out one-footed, when you start to get them, you're actually catching them. The next hardest part I found with doing it this way was putting the other foot back on. I don't know why I wouldn't do it. I just couldn't bring myself to kind of keeping both feet on when I flew out. It kind of became second nature. As soon as I flew out, the other foot would come off. And it was kind of frustrating because really I should have probably had bars a lot earlier than I did, but I kind of spent like a month or so stuffing around not putting my other foot on. So kind of be aware of that. If you get comfortable doing it, try and push yourself really hard to kind of then keep that other foot on. And that's really about it. It's all to do with the setup. Then when you're in the setup, you know, knees back, kind of legs straight as well. That's another big one. Keep your legs straight. You're not going to throw a bar like kind of that. You got to push your legs back, keep them reasonably straight, and push together. Once you're in that position to throw the bar, it's just a matter, or it's up to you guys, pretty much then to just do that and just, you know, have faith in yourself that you will do it and that it'll work out. It's, you know, it's totally a trick that's like mind over matter. It's not that hard, but the mental struggle of, you know, taking your hands off and throwing it is quite hard. It's kind of like human nature that you want to be in control, and generally when you're riding your bike, hands on is a good thing, so becoming comfortable taking your hands off and throwing it is quite a big step. But once you do it, I found that like it gave me a lot of confidence on the bike, moving into other tricks as well, because I knew I could rely on being able to take my hands off, put them back on, and that I was going to be okay. So yeah, definitely just get out there, try it. If you have any questions or anything like that, leave it in the comments below, and you know, be more than happy to answer them to the best that we can. If you see me at the skate park or anything like that, you've got a question about this video, please come up to me. We're happy to help. You know, whether it be show you at the skate park, give you tips or anything like that. By no means am I, you know, the best at Barspins. I'm not, but you know, kind of went through the motions of learning them and kind of point you in the right direction. But that'll be it for today, guys. So hopefully that's helped you out. Again, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and we'll see you in the next video. See you guys.